It's the first Saturday of the month, and you know what that means. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to this month's installment of the Movie Nerds Club. And this month, since we are in the Thanksgiving season, it's time for me to rank my top 5 movies that were released on Thanksgiving Day, or Thanksgiving weekend, if you will. I want to give a shout out to Rachel over Rachel's Reviews, who started up this group. She provided a pretty comprehensive list from Box Office Mojo of all the movies, or at least the top 30 or so, that were released on Thanksgiving weekend. This helped me greatly, and I thank her for that. But before I get into my main list, here are a few honorable mentions. Coco, Moana, Back to the Future Part 2, and Rise of the Guardians. With that out of the way, let's get into my list, starting with number 5. Number 5, Unbreakable. There seems to be a school of thought that M. Night Shyamalan is not very good at his job, and certainly there is some merit to that, although my belief is that he is a guy whose heart is in the right place. However, he has bad tendencies, let's just say. However, he is by no means a one-hit wonder. Yes, there's The Sixth Sense, but there's a movie just as good as that, if not better, and that is Unbreakable. In some ways, Unbreakable was a bit ahead of its time, in that it was willing to discuss these deeper topics about superheroes and kind of deconstruct things. I like that. I like the spirit of that. Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson have great chemistry here, as David Dunn and Elijah Price, respectively. And of course, there's the trademark M. Night Shyamalan twist, which I will not spoil here. However, it is one of his better ones. That's all I will say. Number 4, Life of Pi. This has got to be one of the most beautiful looking movies I have ever seen. It has some truly haunting shots, like when Pi experiences the shipwreck and he sees the ship going down to Davy Jones' locker. It's terrifying stuff. Ang Lee, in general, had a pretty difficult task in trying to make a lifeboat with Dev Patel and a tiger seem interesting. And I think he pulled it off. You see Pi go from this not necessarily timid person, but kind of a pacifist person, and just see him go through this evolution. You also see the relationship between Pi and Richard Parker, the tiger. They start off as adversaries, but by the end, they're friends because they're pretty much all they got. Cinematography, a great performance from Dev Patel, and also shout out to Irfan Khan. You don't see him a ton, but he's really good here as adult Pi. Number 3, Creed. I love the Rocky movies. It's one of my favorite long-running franchises. Check that Movie Nerds Club video above if you would like more information. When a franchise goes into spin-offs, that's usually a sign of caution. However, not so with Creed. This movie is just as good as some of the better Rocky movies. I was a fan of Michael B. Jordan before he was in this movie, but this movie solidified my love for him as an actor because he carries this whole thing. And yes, there's Sylvester Stallone, who gives a surprisingly good performance. Like, he's good as Rocky, let's not get that twisted, but he goes the extra mile in Creed. You have him, you have Felicia Rashad, you have Tessa Thompson, but this is the Michael B. Jordan show. I love him in movies like Chronicle. I'm watching The Wire currently, and I'm enjoying him there. And of course, he's Killmonger in Black Panther. However, for a son of Apollo Creed, you could not have asked for a better performance. Number 2, Tangled. There's a weird debate amongst Disney circles when it comes to Tangled or Frozen. You're either one or the other. And if the debate has to be bilateral, then I'm a Tangled person. Don't get me wrong, Frozen is very good. Let's not get that twisted. However, Tangled is a movie that I've gone back to see multiple times, at least more than Frozen. Beautiful 3D animation. I love Rapunzel, and I love her relationship with Flynn and the relationship that they develop. Rapunzel isn't just some defenseless damsel in distress. She can wield her a frying pan. Also, this movie contains, not gonna lie, one of my favorite Disney songs ever. I can't remember the exact title, but it's the Now I See You song. I'm sure you know which one I mean. Also, Mother Gothel, wow, she is just a horrible person. If you love Frozen, that's great. However, I am a Tangled man through and through. And my favorite movie that came out on Thanksgiving weekend is Toy Story 2. I love Toy Story 2. It's my favorite Pixar movie, and it is the best Toy Story movie by a significant margin. I believe I've talked about Toy Story 2 in other places, so I'll try and keep it brief. But essentially what I love about Toy Story 2 is that it takes the ideas that we would see in 3 and 4, and it begins them here. The idea that eventually Andy will grow up and will move on. And it basically asks the question, what is Woody going to do? Is he going to go along with Jesse and Stinky Pete and go on to the museum in Japan and be loved by kids forever? Or stay where he is with Andy, knowing full well that Andy will eventually have to grow up and move on? What does Woody do? Combine that dynamic with a lot of the side characters that are great. The whole Buzz Lightyear and Zurg thing is just really funny. And one of the best Pixar songs ever, When Somebody Loved Me by Sarah McLachlan. It'll bring tears to your eyes. I will hear compelling cases for any Pixar movie as being their favorite, or at least a good chunk of them. However, Toy Story 2 is absolutely my favorite, and my favorite movie to come out on Thanksgiving weekend. But that is all for me. Thank you so much as always for watching. Please be sure to check out the fellow contributors to the Movie Nerds Club. The links to their videos will be in the description. I'm a fan of all of these creators, so please be sure to check them out. Also, very busy times coming up for the channel. Next Saturday, I will be a part of the Suit Up Geeks podcast Fantasy Movie Draft, where we will be talking about and doing a draft for the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. This is my first time doing this, and I've got the #1 spot, so here's to hoping. I'm not really sure how well I'm going to do. I'm just going there to have fun, and I believe that I will. Also, I'm going to be doing a collab with Jacob Martin. We're going to be talking about the excellent war movie from 2016, Hacksaw Ridge from Mel Gibson. Also, I'm going to be doing a collab with Brevin over at Brevin's Flicks and Games, where we're going to be working our way through the Matrix movies. I believe the next one up is Reloaded. And one more note before I do move on. Well, let's just say Jacob Martin and I, we're cooking up something. But I'll let you know very soon. But as far as content for this channel goes, I'm going to be having reviews up for at least Eternals and The French Dispatch. Also on Sunday, I'll be dropping my first video in a long time that I'm doing this. I finally watched for The Tale of Princess Kaguya. So be sure to look out for that this coming Sunday. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.